Did you know that the first assassination of a head of government by firearm happened in 16th century Scotland? On this day in history, the 23rd of January 1570, James Stewart, 1st Earl of Moray, regent for the young King James VI and half-brother to Mary Queen of Scots, met his tragic end in a story of power, betrayal and vengeance. Murray, who was about 38 or 39 years of age at his death, was the second eldest of seven, yes, seven, illegitimate sons fathered by King James V of Scotland. The king had 9 illegitimate children in all born to different mothers. Murray's mother was Lady Margaret Erskine, daughter of John Erskine, 5th Lord Erskine, and wife of Sir Robert Douglas of Lochleven. His biographer, Mark Lachlan, notes that the king's affection for the young Murray and his mother are shown clearly from the generous provision that was made for him, and that the king even consulted the Pope regarding a divorce for Margaret so that he could marry her. Sadly for Murray, this didn't happen, but he did become a powerful man. In July 1567, Murray's half-sister, Mary Queen of Scots, who'd been imprisoned at Lochleven Castle by the Confederate lords following her defeat at Carberry Hill, was forced to abdicate in favour of her 1-year-old son James, who became King James VI. Murray was made regent for his half-nephew. On the 2nd of May 1568, Mary escaped from Lochleven and quickly rallied support, gathering 6,000 men. On the 13th of May, less than 2 weeks after Mary's escape, Murray's crown force met her force at the Battle of Langside. Murray was outnumbered, but Mary's commander was taken ill during the battle, and without his leadership, her men didn't know what to do. Murray and his men defeated Mary's in just 45 minutes. Mary fled the battlefield, eventually crossing the border into England, where, of course, she was taken into custody and spent the rest of her life in confinement. Murray acted as regent of Scotland for just 29 months, but during that time, Scotland was relatively stable, and his former tutor, George Buchanan, described him as the good regent, a view supported by the famous Protestant reformer John Knox. But Murray had his enemies, supporters of the former Queen. Murray was shot dead on this day in 1570 in Linlithgow, Scotland, by James Hamilton of Bothwellhaugh. The Hamiltons were supporters of Mary Queen of Scots. Murray was processing down the main street of Linlithgow on horseback when Hamilton, who was in the home of his uncle, John Hamilton, Archbishop of St Andrews, shot him from a window. Hamilton was hiding behind sheets that were supposedly drying there. Following the shot, Hamilton executed a perfect escape plan. Robert Birrell described what happened in his diary. The Earl of Moray, the good regent, was slain in Linlithgow by James Hamilton of Bothwellhaugh, who shot the said regent with a gun out of a window, and presently thereof fled out the back and leapt on a very good horse, which the Hamiltons had ready waiting for him. And being followed speedily, after that spur and wand had failed him, he drew forth his dagger and struck his horse behind, which caused the horse to leap a very broad stank, by whilk means he escaped. As for Murray, he was able to dismount and walk to his lodging, but he died later that day. Murray was buried at St Giles's Cathedral in Edinburgh, in St Anthony's Isle, on the 14th of February 1570, with John Knox preaching at his funeral. Murray's daughter Elizabeth became second Countess of Murray. Murray is famous for being the first head of government to be assassinated by a firearm. But what happened to his killer and the Hamilton family? Well, as Robert Birrell described in his diary, Hamilton made it out of Linlithgow and to the safety of his family's lands. The Archbishop's house was burnt and the Archbishop took refuge at Dumbarton Castle. However, after an attack on the castle, the Archbishop was captured, tried and convicted of art and part in the assassination of the Regent Murray. He was hanged at Stirling. Hamilton escaped into exile in France, and in 1579 the Parliament of Scotland declared the Hamilton family rebels. Arthur Hamilton of Marton, captain of Hamilton, was executed, and other members of the family were imprisoned, but the assassin got away. He died in 1581. James Stewart, Earl of Moray, was a man of many contradictions, the illegitimate son of a king who rose to power, a regent praised for stability but surrounded by enemies, and a Protestant hero whose life was cut short by a gunman's bullet. These were dangerous times for anyone in power. If you enjoyed this journey into 16th century history, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps my channel. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and click that little bell icon so you never miss an upload. I've got plenty more fascinating historical stories coming your way, and I'd love to have you along for the journey. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing from you. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.